From Life, Law, and Lattes, this is Before Forever, a guided conversation series exploring the questions couples should ask before marriage or long-term commitment. Because strong relationships are built on more than love. They're built through honesty, alignment, and intentional conversation. Now here's your host, attorney, author, and life strategist, Nadia Gilkes.
Hello and welcome back to Life, Law, and Lattes, and our Before Forever series where we're exploring one meaningful conversation at a time. I'm your host, Nadia Gilkes, and today we're wrapping up our section on relational history and emotional landscape. Over the last few episodes, we've explored what people bring into relationships, past experiences, past hurts, past relationships, and even conversations about intimacy. But today, we're turning our attention toward the future, because before you build a life together, it's worth asking whether you're actually building toward the same destination. And before we begin, don't forget that you can download the free Before Forever Reflection Workbook from the resources page at elegalcafe.com and follow along throughout the series. One of the most fascinating things about relationships is that two people can use the same words and mean completely different things. Take the word success. Ask 10 people what a successful marriage looks like, and you'll probably get 10 different answers. For some people, it's raising children together. For others, it's traveling the world. For some, it's faith. For others, it's financial security. And for some, it's simply finding peace after a difficult chapter in life. None of those answers are wrong, but they can be very different. And that's why this conversation matters. This episode closes our relational history and emotional landscape section because after understanding what we've brought into the relationship, we need to understand where we're hoping to go. Not just next year, but 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and beyond. So today's question: what does a successful marriage or long-term partnership look like to you? Many couples assume they're working toward the same future, but assumptions can be dangerous because one person may define success as stability. Another may define it as adventure. One may prioritize career growth. The other may prioritize family time. One may envision retirement on a beach somewhere. The other may imagine being surrounded by children and grandchildren every weekend. Neither person is wrong, but if those visions are never discussed, they can create disappointment later. Not because someone changed, but because expectations were never fully understood. I've seen relationships where people genuinely loved each other, but they were chasing completely different versions of success. One wanted a life of travel. The other wanted deep community roots. One wanted children. The other wanted freedom and flexibility. One wanted to build wealth aggressively. The other wanted to enjoy life along the way. And sometimes those differences can be worked through, but they need to be acknowledged first. Because compatibility isn't just about where you are today. It's also about where you're trying to go. Take a moment to imagine your ideal future, not Instagram's version, not your family's version, yours. What does it look like? How do you spend your time? What matters most? What does partnership look like? What role do family, career, travel, faith, finances, community, and personal growth play? And if you're in a relationship, have you actually shared that vision? Not the broad strokes, the details. Because sometimes the most loving thing we can do is help our partner understand the future we're hoping to create. Let's pause for a legal latte moment. One of the things I see frequently in legal practice is what happens when expectations were never discussed. Not because anyone was dishonest, because assumptions filled the gaps. People assume they agreed about finances, retirement, caregiving, where they would live, responsibilities, long term goals. And years later, they discovered they were operating from completely different roadmaps. The lesson isn't to plan every detail of your future. Life rarely follows our plans perfectly. The lesson is to communicate enough that you're at least heading in the same direction. This conversation isn't asking you to predict the future. None of us can do that. It's asking what matters to you. What are you building toward? What kind of life would feel meaningful? Because success is not one size fits all. The healthiest couples define success for themselves, together. As we wrap up this section of the series, I want to leave you with one thought. The future doesn't just happen, it's built. One decision, one conversation, one shared vision at a time. And the clearer that vision becomes, the easier it is to recognize whether you're building it together. If you're following along with the Before Forever Reflection Workbook, this is a wonderful opportunity to reflect on what success truly means to you and whether you've shared that vision with your partner. You can download the workbook for free at elegalcafe.com/resources. A successful relationship isn't defined by what it looks like from the outside. It's defined by whether the two people inside it are building a life they both want to live. Next episode, we begin a brand new section, Financial Foundations. And we'll start with a conversation that can make people surprisingly emotional. How do you feel about joint versus separate accounts? Because money isn't just about dollars. It's about trust, priorities, independence, and partnership. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it wherever you're listening. Invite someone else into the conversation as well. And until next time, lead with honesty and love with intention.
You've been listening to Before Forever, a guided conversation series from Life, Law, and Lattes. Download the free Before Forever Reflection Workbook at elegalcafe.com/resources. And until next time, keep asking the questions that matter.